Obviously making this album and being signed by Columbia, Sony, and the whole process of, um, of making a new album. That took about a year, about 6 months with the songs and with Stephen and Ashley, which was a blessing. So getting to work with my kids and getting their input and a little bit of their youth, how's that? You know, their fire.
So how does it feel playing new songs live for the first time before people have heard any of the songs?
Terrifying, to be absolutely honest. But there isn't a song, I've said this before, there isn't really a song on this album that I wouldn't want to be on this album. So that's how we looked at it. That's how John and I measured it. And Stephen and Ashley, that's how we did it. And, every song's a sort of favorite.
Have you ever done a live stream before?
Yeah, the 100th anniversary of Miami Beach was live, and Glastonbury with Coldplay. That was an amazing experience.
Are there any extra nerves associated with the live stream?
Yes. There certainly is. I mean, you don't know what your voice is going to do. You don't know if you're going to crack, and that happens. But this is so live and it's so pure that if you crack, you crack.
I remembered I forgot to hold my stomach in halfway through, so
Me
I'm
too.
hoping we can start this over. Well, I was going to surprise you with the news that your album went #1 on Amazon, but John Merchant beat me to it earlier.
Yeah, but I'm glad he told me.
So how does that make you feel?
Wonderful. I mean, it doesn't quite sink in at all because the world that I came from and the world that we grew up making records in didn't have things like Amazon, didn't have the technology, didn't have the web, any of these things. So it's a totally new experience, but I love it. I love this culture now.
Earlier in your career, you would have to wait months to a year for people to hear your work. What does it mean to you now that they can hear it around the world live?
Almost instantly, yeah. The instant gratification. Yeah, it's almost like doing a live show, and we love doing that because you get the response immediately, and you don't have to wait for months like we used to do.
Well, you've been really busy the last couple of years, doing lots of high-profile things. We talked earlier, many of the audience saw you on The Tonight Show, Saturday Night Live. Many saw your sold-out tour. You were with Coldplay, and that's been viewed online millions of times. The good news for Barry Gibb fans is that we've finally been able to express to you our love. And we've seen Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Fallon and the Coldplay guys almost slack-jawed in awe of you. What has it been like to receive that love?
Well, first of all, I think the opposite is true because I'm virtually a fan. I do have a bad habit if I bump into someone I really admire, I've got to tell them, and usually the wrong words, like I love you. You know? And I've done that to Alison Krauss, and I'm still feeling uncomfortable that people said that, but I do love her. But as a fan, and her voice is like an angel, and so I just felt that urge. You know?
And you saw Paul McCartney when you both did Saturday
Yes,
Night
and
Live.
I fell over my feet as well. You know, so you always end up saying things and you think, oh,
And what did you say to him?
we should write a song together. And then I thought, why did you say that? And his answer was, well, let's do it tonight. And I thought, well, that's not what I meant, you know.
Well, I'm going to feel that way about you later. I'll go, oh, why did I say that?
Well, I do it all the time.
I feel a little like Chris Farley when Paul McCartney was on
Yes,
Saturday Night Live.
that's how everybody is.
Do you remember Jive Talking?
Yes.
Remember How Do You Mend a Broken Heart? All right, now we have some questions from people in the audience. So when I say your name, raise your hand. Anita Chittum, where's Anita? Is she here right there, front row from Fulton, Missouri? What is your favorite song of the new album, In the Now? Barry, do you have a favorite song?
Well, they all are, and that's typical diplomatic answer. But as I said, there isn't a song on this album that I wouldn't have put on this album. And so we worked very hard to make sure we were in love with every song. If I had to pick a real favorite, I'd pick the one about my brothers, which is The End of the Rainbow. And I'd pick Meaning of the Word, which to me is probably the prettiest song I think I've ever been able to come up with. And Stephen should be thanked for that too, and Ashley. And it just means so much. So every song on this album means something really individual. You ask me about any song, I'll tell you the story behind it.
Okay, now we have a question from Richard Sable from Lutz, Florida. Where's Richard? Okay, the question: what was it like driving in your car and hearing yourself in the Bee Gees on the radio for the first time?
Well, I don't remember that, but I remember hearing one of our records. I used to have a little wooden radio with an oval top in the olden days, you know, and I used to keep it under my bed when I was about 16. And my dream was to hear one of our records on the radio. And the great DJ in Australia, Bob Rogers, was the biggest DJ at that point, and still on the air after 50 years. And I would wait all night for this man to play our record. And he used to play at about 2 o'clock in the morning, which was a little bit late for me, but it sounded fantastic. So that was the first time.
And how did it make you feel?
Exhilarated. I mean, I was 16, you know, so... But so the rush of hearing your record on the radio is very different than hearing it in real life or hearing it in the studio.
We have some college students from Grammy U here tonight. Do you want to explain to them what a radio is?
Well, there you go. You mean that word's gone? No, it can't be. No.
The next question is from Catherine Palma, who came all the way from Miami to be here. What does your recording process look like? What comes first and last?
Well, I guess it all starts with a good idea, because the center of the song has to still be a good idea, a good angle, a good. And I love love songs. So any particular unique angle on a love song is always wonderful to me. So I'll explore that, and we'll go looking for. Well, okay, that's the angle. Now, how do we get there? You know.
So how did In the Now start?
It just started in the lounge, because we have speakers and a microphone, and we pretend we're live. And I guess, is that how it started?
Yeah, you had like just a little bit of a melody.
Yeah.
And then we were like, maybe we'll work on that one. And we had written most of the songs on the record at that point.
Right.
And you came in here one day and you're like, let's work on that idea. And we were all here, and you just thought, you said, come on, let's go in the other room. And you wrote it, we wrote it in about 20 minutes?
Yeah, some songs can hang around for a long time, and then suddenly they mean something.
This is a quick one, very quick.
Yeah.
That's not your quickest number one, was it?
I don't know about number one. I mean, this is all news to me.
Right.
Quickest number one, I don't know. You know, it was probably How Deep Was Your Love before Fever came out.
Because you've written some songs quickly.
Yep.
Yeah.
They tend to happen rather quick. And Roy Orbison, I've always gone by his philosophy that if it happens quick, it'll be okay. If it takes a long time, it's probably not worth working on.
We have another question from Majan Navarro from Orlando. Taking into account the radical changes that the music industry has gone through in the past years, how have you managed to evolve and stay current with trends in music and in business?
Well, oh boy, that's a loaded question. First of all, I don't perceive myself as current or any of those things. I've always just looked for a great song and always tried to push that idea through. And whoever was dealing with the other end of it, they dealt with that. And I have to say that the people that I'm working with today are the nicest and best people I've ever met. So I feel truly blessed to have another shot. That's the truth of it.
And I forgot to ask where Majan is. There she is. I hope I said your name right.
Oh, there you are.
I didn't? Okay, sorry. All right, now we have some questions from around the world. Danielle from Melbourne, Australia. What's your favorite part about making a new album?
Well, it's the whole excitement of it, you know. I don't think if I hadn't met with the good people at Columbia and Sony, I don't think I would have made a new album. I think it's someone else having faith in you. It's having someone else you have to please. And I think that's always been, whether it was Robert Stigwood in the early days or someone else along the way, it was always having someone else to impress or to please. Right now it's my wife. And so whenever she turns up, I have to give the extra mile, you know? Otherwise I'm in deep trouble.
You have the coolest wife, I have to say.
I think so.
So cool.